Well, good morning there, America. It is Monday morning. I am what you call running a tad late this morning. Surprise! And I hope you guys are all having a phenomenal start to the day. I've actually had so much energy, it's not even phone. Been working on a few different things. Number one, got to get my grill together. It's grilling season, America. So got to do that. So I got the propane tank in here today. It's empty. Got to get new propane. But we're going to talk about today one of my favorite stores that I haven't been to in forever, and kind of a strategy I'm going to use on my lunch break today. So the store I'm going to be going to is Meijer. And for those of you who are not from the Midwest, Meijer is a chain of almost like a Target-ish, Walmart-ish store, predominantly Midwestern. There's a few that fall outside of the Midwest, but they're there. And you will find that from Meijer, you either get really great stuff, or you pretty much don't get anything. Those are about the two options of what Meijer will help with today. So I can walk in at lunch, may find hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. I may walk in at lunch and find absolutely nothing. But we're going to give it a try anyway. So, since it's been a long time I've been in Meijer's. Oh, Buddha Cat says hello, jumping around. I'm going to do my natural path. And I've started realizing, because I've been doing a lot of the explaining to you guys on how I source through these stores. And I've noticed that I have a natural tendency. It's to go in and go right. I don't know why in the world I do that, but that's my natural tendency. I think that that's part of what they're doing with the stores. But I know Meijer, not a lot of in-aisle clearance in Meijer, in my opinion. It's been way more in-cap aisles. Now, there's an occasional like all clearance aisle, and you'll notice that by the orange stickers that are on all the products. But we're going to give it a shot today. So what do I look for when I'm in a Meijer? Well, I'm going to be looking for the orange stickers, of course, but I'm also going to be looking for health beauty. It's always really good in my area for those. And then I also really enjoy the electronics, cameras, and also the sporting goods / seasonal aisles. So that'll be what my main looking or expedition, consideration, whatever it is, will be happening with today. Because I find that about 70% off mark is where as low as they're going to go. I have seen 90% off on some of the items. They usually tend to be name brand items. I don't see a ton of Meijer brand on clearance. I see a lot of name brand items. And to give a little backstory on one of my biggest finds there, I spent $700-800 one day at a Meijer. And the reason I did this, and I'll apologize guys, we're about to go into a low area for signal. So if you lose me, I'll be back as soon as the signal picks back up. But I have a feeling my thing is going to start flashing here in a second, telling me, low connection, no connection. So, my biggest find in a Meijer to date, went back and they had this little clearance rack for the electronics section. And usually I don't find a ton of electronics. I've never been a huge electronics guy. This was one that I kind of switched on. So went back there and they were getting rid of a ton of Skull Candy headphones. I mean, all different styles of them, but they were just, it was a going out of, we're not selling Skull Candy headphones anymore, gotta get rid of these type of deal. So I noticed that pretty quickly. Now let's wait for the signal to get back here. I'm flashing. I appreciate the Facebook flashes for me. Un momento, por favor. Okay, we're back. Well, it still says we're low. Everybody hear me okay? See me, this is live. So that's why sometimes people see me and sometimes people don't. Oh, we're back. Okay. So all these Skull Candy headphones were sitting on this rack. And Meijer has the arch nemesis of me, which are the big stickers that cover the barcodes, which for an Amazon seller just really pisses you off. And so what I did was I started typing in the name of the different headphones, and they all had different styles and colors. So I started typing them in there, and I mean, they had stacks and stacks and stacks of these things. So I started finding out that every time I would search these, hey Heather, this is Amazon selling, you're welcome to listen, but I miss you, have fun, haven't seen you in a while, I need to come down and see the missus. But went there and found that a few of these Skull Candy headphones, no sales rank. So you're sitting there in the aisle going, oh crap, what do I do? Do I go about and buy these things? Do I not? And the trick of the day that I did was I had heard some people talking in the Facebook groups, and I had always advised that don't buy anything unless you have a sales rank. Well, guess what? Sometimes that just doesn't work. Sometimes you're looking for the stuff that you've got to determine right then and there if it's worth your time or money. And here's the deal. I did it, and the thing that tipped me off to say this is a purchasable item were the stars, the feedback ratings. So from my further research over this entire topic and everything, the average sales to a feedback Happy Monday, Heather. Oh Lord, did you get the homecoming date, Heather? It's been set, you better be coming up or down, I guess, unless you're over somewhere else. Anyway, the feedbacks. So average feedback rate is about 1,000 out of 1,000 purchases. You're going to have about 10 to 30 feedbacks. Okay, that's going to be kind of your. It's a 2 to 3% feedback rate. Okay, so this is where you would go to a few of those sites that help with the feedbacks and see what their average rate is. So when I was looking at these different sales, what I was seeing was these Skull Candy headphones had 600 to 700 feedback ratings on them. The stars. Pretty good overall feedback ratings. And that started getting me to think, well, okay, just because I'm not seeing a sales rank here doesn't mean that these aren't selling. It just means that my Amazon app isn't able to pull in that information. So I decided to go ahead and buy them. They were all 80% off, so I mean, most of them were between $5 to $10 sets of headphones. Most of them were selling $40 to $50. It was worth a shot. All of those Skull Candy headphones, once I sent them in, sold within 3 weeks. And it was all due to looking at the feedback ratings instead of the actual sales rank. Now, it's going to push me into another little caveat that I think a lot of people miss out on. And I think it's because they get scared of items. So let's sit and take a deep breath and think about this for a second. If an item has an astronomically high return on investment, so I see a $1 item, I'm going to make $100 off of it, and in return also has an astronomically high rank, okay? So like $1 million and something. There are 95% of us in this group right now who would simply, I get Anthony, Gary. Oh, Anthony, if you're on here watching, I saw your text this morning. I went to bed at 7 o'clock last night. I'm sorry, I haven't texted you back yet. I don't have up lighting. I've got to get that to you. You don't need to put me on a milk carton. I saw it. Okay, I'm on you. We'll get to it. But just because the two are simultaneously tied means there is an opportunity that that item is just high in sales rank artificially because of an artificially high price. Make a little bit of sense? Because here's the deal. If your price is really, really high, it means on the supply curve, we're at the top portion of the supply curve, where a ton of people would sell it at that price. I mean, a ton of people. There's only 1 or 2 sellers. Odds are that it's just a hard to find item. They have artificially priced it too high, and they're not getting any sales. They're your people who said, I set my price once, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm going to get my $100 no matter what I do. Well, that's great, but you can go in there and buy it at the dollar mark, list it for 50, and probably drop that sales rank down to 100,000 in a matter of a few minutes. The higher the price of something, the more likely those sales ranks are to be higher. Okay? We look at the supply and demand, so we look at the supply curve, and people are going to be willing to supply it at that higher price, but people aren't going to be willing to buy it. The demand curve is downward sloping, so it's going to run into the thing. I know, Heather, I know, this is what happens. But this is where a lot of people get confused, because they think that this is a bad item. And then people like Joseph here will go in and say, I'd buy that, and they probably are able to sell it for half of the price that it's currently listed as. But if you look at it on a relational basis, that's still a 5,000% return. Yeah, 5,000, I think. And that's a great investment. So what is the lesson to be learned there? Just because something is priced at a certain point doesn't mean that you have to list it at that point, okay? We're in another low signal area. So that's something to look at when you're looking at those high rank, high priced items. For instance, went to the store the other day, and there are these fancy little like satellite radio extenders. They go on the top of your car. Now, I will be the first to admit I am not an expert, especially in the world of sales ranks with mobile electronics. Maybe some of you guys out there will tell me if this is good or not. But I was hesitant. That's how I get. Went in there and saw these items. Rank of 602 in mobile electronics. I could buy these items for $10. They were the lowest FBA price was $129. Now, why didn't I clear the shelves? Well, the boxes weren't in great condition. I'll be honest. They weren't great, and I don't know mobile electronics well enough to do it. So what did I do? Well, I listed the freaking thing on Amazon. Urgent fulfilled. They're sitting there still, and I will take that listing down in a few days. But I priced it at half the price of the FBA person, hoping that the guy in FBA wants to buy it and just take advantage of my low prices, which would be great. But it's all about the way you look at things. I could get hosed by holding it for $10, or I can try to sell it virtually fulfilled for that length of time. Now, so it's just an interesting thing with it. So there's that. Now, I hope you guys were in the Facebook group earlier today, my FBA Master Facebook group, and saw that I posted a nice little Cherokee Indian or some sort of ancient tribal kind of thing. So there's two wolves fighting at all times in your body. And out of those two wolves, one is a very greedy, very angry, just a mean wolf. Then you have your good, generous, your caring, your helping, your other wolf will say that these two are fighting. And the kid that his grandpa was telling him this said, Grandpa, which wolf wins? And the very key crux to the story was the one that you feed. And I know that you'll see on these morning, I want to say Periscopes, but they're live videos on Facebook. We're going to cover a lot of different things. Anybody who knows me, especially I think if Heather's still on here, she'll be the first to vouch for it. I am very ADD, all over the freaking place. And these videos give me a chance to really let my brain kind of breathe for a little bit and bounce from topic to topic. So what you guys are going to see in these Facebook videos is kind of what you saw on Periscope, except we're going to have a little bit more interaction because this is double the Periscope audience I used to have. But what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking some Amazon, we're going to be talking some money-making ideas, and we're also going to be talking some inspirational and kind of, not deep conversations, but more mind-provoking ideas. Okay, that's kind of be where we're at. on this thing. If you guys don't like it, please don't feel like you have to watch. This is a lot of my personal family friends are going to be like, huh, Chris? You're doing, huh? What? I'm so confused. I don't get it, kind of thing. Well, you don't have to get it. That's how this works. I have people that follow me to learn how to make money. I have people who follow me because they're my friends and family. And I'm feeling like I should follow that Guinness truck just to make sure that it gets delivered properly. But so here's a money-making idea that I kind of came across by accident, I guess. And you guys, every money-making idea that I put out there needs to be hashed out, okay? Needs to be built to a spot where you take it from one extreme to the next extreme, because a lot of these are half-baked ideas, okay? They're not great ideas up front. The people who really are able to make these work take my half-baked idea, put it back in the oven, let it bake a little bit more, and come out with this really great product. So, interesting thing that I have been explaining to people is, you guys have used the app called Gone, correct? Gone with the exclamation point. If not, definitely check it out. There's also one that Erica, out of one of the FBA Master Group, showed me. It's called Declutter. These two items, these two apps, give you the ability to take photos or scan barcodes of items. They will provide quotes for you on these items. Let's push this down so it doesn't keep falling. There we go, buddy. And then, sorry, we're at a stoplight, so I can do that kind of stuff. They pay for you to ship it into them, which is absolutely phenomenal. So what have I been doing lately with this? Well, I've been going into the stores that I typically source from, like a flea market, Goodwill, Walmart, Meijer, whatever it is. And I'm going ahead and scanning these items and putting them for sale without ever leaving. Why? Well, if they're going to want me to buy them, and they tell me they usually take about an hour, so I usually go right back to the electronics first now, do my scanning, do all the listing of that, go around and do the rest of my sourcing. If it works, fantastic. I've now just made some money by listing these things and getting them off of there. If they don't, it was just a little bit of time, a few pictures, and I'm done. So there is that side of the business. Now, for anybody who has all downloaded my Google Chrome extension for free, you guys been using that at all for the variation checker to help with the finding of variations on Amazon listings if you're a really frequent AZ to AZ flipper? Anybody used it? Any feedback on that? It's the cool part of these live streams. I can ask questions like this and I get almost immediate feedback. Usually there's a little bit of delay, but it's pretty close to immediate feedback. So it looks like no one, which is fine. I know some of you guys had, and probably about 10 minutes from now they're going to start populating in, and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, you guys were just delayed and couldn't get it. So that was an extension build that I had that I got done off of Upwork. Great little site. I've loved it, but I'm getting ready to start work on probably 3 or 4 more extensions. We're reinvesting the funds that were made from these into more extensions. So what I'm really looking for here, if there is a task that you guys do repeatedly, day after day, and it just gets a little old, little repetitive, you're just kind of tired of doing it, let me know. Explain to me what it is in as much or as little detail as you can. Let me brainstorm how this thing looks in the form of an application, and then let's see if we can get it built to help alleviate some of that redundancy in your life. And this can be a personal app. It could be one that, like right now, I'm looking at a silly one that would probably take the guy about an hour to build. Is one that notifies people when a Gumroad list gets posted. You get a little Chrome ding that something's been posted. Kind of cool, silly but cool. Probably costs $30 to put up there. So I'm working on this kind of stuff. If you guys have any ideas, shoot me a private message. I have about 100 of them to respond to today. So we'll see. That's why I'm going to be, and I'll be upfront with all of you guys, I will be extremely hit or miss over the next week. You guys, this may be the only live video of the week. I may have 5 more today. Who knows? But the plan is to be kind of offline for a little bit. And it's not to ignore people or to take a break. Sometimes you need a tech detox. You got other stuff you've got to get done, and if you sit here and play around on Facebook all day, odds are you're not going to be able to get it all done. So that'll be happening. If you guys are looking for me, think I'm ignoring you. I'm not. It's a little tech detox that I'll be going through just to help my brain a little bit. We focus down on things and go from there. So any questions, anything? You guys are extremely quiet compared to the Periscope audience, and if this keeps up, I may have to go back to Periscope. I had to delete Periscope off my phone today. It's taking up too much room. I gotta reinstall it again. It's fascinating what it does with the videos. You know, when we were doing this before, I'm at a stoplight so I can do this, we had a pretty good interactive crowd. And if it's the topics that I'm covering, let me know what topics you want, and I'll do it. If you want me to just shut up, hi Donnell. Say hi. See, it's fun because I get to see all my friends, and they pop up to see what the heck I'm doing because I'm a weirdo, and I get to say hi to them all. And it's just fun that way, and I really like it. But sometimes I don't like it because no one responds. It's like I'm talking to myself. You guys ever thought that in a car? That you're like the only one you're talking to? Never mind. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, the tech detox is what's going to be happening. So why am I doing this? Well, I find that when I sit around technology for too long, and I really try to do a tech detox about every 2 months, and I find they're extremely helpful. Because, so, the last time I did a tech detox would have been when my wife and I went down to Florida, so early January. So it's been about 2 months or so since I've done this tech detox. And before that, it would have been around when we went to Disney World. Usually I try to associate them with a vacation of sorts. And it's usually about a week where I go MIA. I disappear for the week, and I may be on Facebook for an hour or two on a given day. I may be here, I may be there. This is the Periscope for the day. We're trying this out for a little bit, Jacob. We're just seeing how it works. I've been online for like 22, 23 minutes now. Actually, wait for me to time how long it takes me to get to work. But this tech detox I get away from all of that stuff. And to be honest, the emails pile up, the Facebook messages pile up, the notifications pile up, my to-do list gets huge. But when I come back next Monday and try to pull or get back into the swing of things on the tech side of it, I find that I'm way more focused. I'm able to knock out what would typically take me a week to catch up on in like a day. So these tech detoxes are really powerful, in my opinion, and that's what I try to do. So this week is supposed to be beautiful here in Indiana, running mid-50s most of the week. I think tomorrow's supposed to be 70. So, like, literally, I wish that I had more vacation time right now. I know the routine's a little off. We'll probably be back to Periscope here shortly. I'm getting too many people confused by what the heck I'm doing over here. But then I come back and we're there, and I know I'll have another tech detox early April. So it's going to be getting kind of more regular for me here. So I invite you guys to possibly do the same. Pull it off a little bit from your everyday routine. Get that fresh start and then move towards it. So any other questions, any other topics? I'm about a minute away from work, so I can talk for a second. Jacob, I'm sorry that you're mad. Go grow some worms. Okay, well, I thank you guys for joining me this morning. It's a weird... Oh, you can only have 30 minutes of live video. Fascinating! So this is definitely a little bit more limiting compared to Periscope. Huh. Let's just post right here. Oh, chocolate milk. Anything, guys? Anything? More books? Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I've been doing some of the... I have some really cool stuff I've been working on for books, but it's not ready yet. So as soon as I get them ready, we'll get there. Textbooks are seasonal, so I mean, I've been prepping for the textbook rush that'll happen starting 2 or 3 weeks from now until the end of the semester. People have all these textbooks laying around. They're going to start selling them. I'm going to take advantage of that. Hey kids, there's some candy in my car. Come and let me buy your textbooks. It's a little strange, I know. 36 minutes, fascinating. Anything else as my propane tank rolls around like a madman down here? I'm going to be grilling out this evening. It's going to be nice. I'm going to take advantage of the weather. I'm so excited. Anything else, guys? What's this rush? Well, it's textbook. Everybody, so in the United States, I know you're from Canada. I'm not sure if it's the same up there or not. It's going to be the end of the semester. Start first week of May. So that's going to change the whole Periscope and live video thing anyway, because my time's going to switch with when I work. So FYI, since I work at a university. But here's what happens. A lot of the kids had parents who purchased textbooks. These textbooks may or may not have been used during the semester. And what happens is the students try to get their money back. Any money is good money because it's the parents' money and they didn't have to actually pay for it. So they have these really expensive textbooks that have been laying around for the semester, and it's about to be summer break, so they're going to work extra hard to get these things sold before they leave campus. And that is what ensues the textbook selling rush. And if you're able to figure out what is going to be the hot textbooks for the next semester, that is where you would do that at. And hey Troy, haven't seen you in a while. Sorry, I'm not up in Indy anymore, but we're actually up in Muncie. But I will talk with you guys all later. Peace out. Have a great day. And